A couple years back, gamers used to get excited about a big studio releasing something new, whether that meant a new IP or a second or third entry to their favorite video game. Think of the games like Metal Gear, Halo, GTA, Elder Scrolls, Resident Evil, not you, and many others. Each time a new entry was announced, people would be all over the place talking about it. Events like E3, Game Fest, Gamescom, PAX, TGA were the prime example. These used to be really anticipated by the community. Knowing that X Studio was going to be a part of the show sparked the idea for a refreshing new experience by the hand of professionals, so quality was to be expected. Unfortunately, today, with just a few exceptions, the hype behind big releases isn't what it used to be. AAA games just don't hit the same anymore. Either because trailers show an interesting story and gameplay and the final product is not what was promised, or because they're focusing on captivating a completely different fan base than the one they built over the years. Whether developers are being forced to do it or they're actually okay with it, a lot of stories and narratives are being reshaped by what CEOs and corporate leaders think will appeal to modern audiences. And sure, it makes sense that they want to renovate and capture the attention of the new generation of gamers, but I'm positive that disregarding the users that bought your games in the first place is not the best business strategy. Today, most people believe that gamers are against the inclusion of black, female, and/or gay characters in their games. I personally don't agree. We've had many video games in the past that featured characters that fit either one or all of those descriptions, and they were great, memorable characters. What happens is that people, me included, are tired of forced inclusion with characters that have their whole personality built around their skin color, gender, or sexuality. Besides, most characters built today that fit those descriptions are either portrayed as arrogant, or even worse, they're not relatable with the majority of their audience. If they don't get to create a bond or understand why there's one between those characters, they'll end up disliking the character or ditching the game in its entirety. When that happens, the connection between the players and the character is broken. I think The Last of Us 2 is a great example for this. Spoilers, by the way. After Abby kills Joel right at the start of the game, without any context provided or why it happens, the players were either watching Abby die in horrible ways on repeat on purpose, or uninstalling the game.
10 hours of Abby? 10?
Mel's pregnant.
Wait, what? Is that real? No joke, 10 hours with this character. You're gonna play the next 10 hours.
Another example, which is the completely opposite for this, is Silent Hill 2. Again, spoilers. If gamers knew from the start that James killed his wife without having any context or understanding the character or Silent Hill as a whole in the first place, they would hate both him and the game. But of course, that's not what happens. You get to play as James, you understand his feelings and what he's going through, and you connect with him through his pain and his loss.
Barry.
Hey, handsome.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I told you. I wanted the pain to end.
Yeah. You did.
Mhm.
But that's not why I did it. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
If that's true, then why do you look so sad?
I believe most of you would agree that stories and characters like this are hard to come by these days, at least in games developed by big studios. And that's exactly one of the reasons why most of us care more and more about indie games. We've reached the point in which small studios and indie developers with a tight budget are releasing video games that are 10 times more exciting, refreshing, and actually more fun than whatever woke agenda slop big companies spit out today. That's because the big ballers in the industry refuse to take risks, and instead they look for ways to play it safe to avoid controversy or to upset a certain group of people. The result? Well, the consumer gets a bland experience with generic Unreal 5 graphics and boring gameplay. Speaking of games on UE5, sure, they look great, they have good graphics and lighting technologies, but they don't even know how to properly optimize the engine. And we end up with a mush of shaders, effects that look really good on screenshots and trailers, but deliver very low FPS in-game. To me, it's outrageous that today most games have to be played with either DLSS or FSR to actually have a smooth experience. Unless you're willing to spend thousands of dollars on a computer for a game that most likely is not even worth it. There's a video I saw the other day that goes a bit more in depth about Unreal Engine 5, and I agree with pretty much everything that NovemberHotel said. If you have a few minutes and want to hear more on UE5, I highly recommend it. Links in the description. Now, I got a quick question for you. Don't you think that most games today look exactly the same? Not just on gameplay, but on graphics too. There are very few current instances in which games have a unique visual style. Take a look at Overwatch, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals. They push for a cartoony type of graphics. I'm not against it by any means. There are a bunch of games out there that look cartoony and manage to pull it off, like TF2. Those were the days. But it just doesn't make sense to spend a bunch of money on a GPU and CPU combo just to have high settings on a game that looks like this. Now, I strongly believe that games don't need great graphics or a perfect 10 out of 10 story to be considered a good game. There's a lot of games with a mid-story that are memorable and, in my opinion, great because they're fun and entertaining. For example, I love the new Doom games, from 2016 to Dark Ages. They have really fun gameplay loop and mechanics in general. Their story is okay. It's good to set up a cool character, but let's be honest. Story isn't the main reason why people play Doom. Now, what makes a good game? Why are AAA games today not considered good? Because they lack the two most basic requirements that should be top priority for any video game out there. Especially coming from a big studio, right? Being fun, entertaining, or preferably both. Let's take a look at games like Telltale's The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us. These don't have innovative gameplay or photorealistic graphics. They're literally point-and-click games with interactive novel features and comic-like visuals. Yet, they're great because they have well-written, relatable characters, an interesting story, and, of course, a kind or a badass protagonist that the community loves and cares about. Another example I can think of is Cry of Fear and Darkwood. These are both great games with fun and interesting stories. They didn't have a big budget or the best graphics, yet both those games performed really well, left a positive impression, and I still think of them when a friend asks for a good horror game recommendation. Now, all things considered, could 2026 be a good year for AAA games? I like to say yes, but today most games that are worth supporting come from small studios, indie devs, and hopefully Valve. I could be proving wrong though. Maybe big studios could be motivated to stop shooting themselves in the foot and actually try to deliver something good, especially considering the potential release of GTA 6, if it's not delayed again, Or Half-Life 3? Valve? Please? Either way, I highly doubt it. If you ask me, perhaps it'd be better to keep supporting the little guy that makes games with passion, to hopefully one day see them as a new big studio in the market releasing new and great games. Alright, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say for the day. Thanks for sticking until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content like this, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I'll be uploading once or twice a week depending how tight my job gets. If you have any input regarding the direction of the industry and like to share it, I'd love to read your comments down below. Stay smooth. Cheers.